Businesses all across the planet are looking to make connections with people. Well, guess what? Divine Connections magazine is helping businesses not only walk in their purpose and passion, but to get connected to their potential. That's right. You've got to connect to your potential, and you can make it happen now because it is time to know your worth. As you get connected to people all across the planet, Divine Connections magazine will make it happen. And get featured in the magazine today and get your copy now, because there's no other time than a divine time to get connected to Divine Connections magazine.
I am determined to be rich.
The middle class is not for me.
I need news that cares about me.
And not news that's going to scare me or make me mad at another people group.
I need news without politics.
And I want news that will point me to the money.
This is the news where it happens.
The moments that change the world.
These are the stories we need.
The info that we care about.
We only give you news
that puts money in your pocket.
And the news
that gives us an advantage.
This is the work that continues.
Who we are today.
And what we can become
tomorrow.
That's it.
This is where news without agendas can lead us.
Your wealth matters.
This is why more perspectives
make us stronger.
And how our mission can inspire
tomorrow.
This is journalism that helps the world we live in.
This
is
Mexit News.
Great day, everyone. This is Deloris Williams with Divine Connections. Welcome, everyone. Make sure you go and like and share this broadcast. We have a great day planned out for you. We have great information as well as a great guest on the line today. So let's get into it. Divine Connection is a magazine that comes out quarterly in print as well as online. It's faith-based and inspirational, so we connect with different businesses, entrepreneurs, gospel artists, praise dance, moms, anyone that's doing something great in the community. So you do have the opportunity to be a part. The magazine comes out quarterly, and so if you want to share your business opportunity, your ministry, different things you have going on, your events, you have the opportunity to do that. So you would just simply text 336-338-8903 or email me at divineconnectionsmagazine@gmail.com. All right. So how do you stay connected with Divine Connections and even check out maybe one of the copies of Divine Connections magazine? Go to our website at divineconnectionsmagazine.com and click on join the email list. And then on the front page, you could actually click on the cover of a magazine and go through it so you can see what it is that I do and how we connect and one of the magazines, and you can see how the layout is. So if you're interested in being part, just let me know and we'll discuss that. All right. So next, go to our Facebook page, which is Divine Connections Marketing. Like that page. That's where we're going to show up with the interviews, the events, anything that we have going on will be there. We also have our Instagram page at Divine Connections. Follow us there on Instagram. And then we have our YouTube channel at The Divine Connections. So make sure you go and subscribe and click the notification so you can be notified. Awesome. On the next agenda, we have Divine Connection magazine is here. So you guys go check it out, get your copy. We have great businesses, services, products, gospel artists, entrepreneurs, great things that's happening in the community. So go and get your copy of Divine Connections magazine so you can see what is going on and how you can connect and make it happen. Okay. Magazines are just $12 and you can go and you can get a hard copy or digital copy as well. So again, that website is divineconnectionsmagazine.com/subscription. So on Wednesdays, we have this opportunity to share with you. If you're interested in being interviewed, you can contact me through this email, but also if you would like to be a sponsor on the show. So we're here on Wednesdays between the hours of 3 and 6. And before and after the interviews, we have sponsors. So if you have a 30-second commercial about your business and what you do, and you want to share it with other people and grow your network and your connections as well, we would love for you to be a sponsor. Connect with us. We do a 3-month agreement, and we'll have your commercial on before or after the show, so we can tell people who you are and what you do. And that's only for $150. So if you're interested in being a sponsor, please let us know to help spread your good news. Next, if you need a 30-second or a 60-second commercial for your business, your ministry, your book, your gospel group, your event, please let us know. That is one of the services that we provide, as well as we create 30-second and 60-second commercials for you. Next on the agenda, I am so excited that my book is out, you guys. Go ahead and get your copy of The Key Connector, which is how to build an empire helping people. So God has blessed me to have this Divine Connections for 12 years. And of course, over time, you have to have strategies and different things to work your network and build relationships. And so I give you strategies in the book, The Key Connector, how to build an empire helping people. And I would love for you to go get a copy. A lot of information is in there, as well as strategies. It is also on Amazon, so you can go to Amazon and get it. But there's a good link right there before. I have a personal video and a little clip for you. So if you go to that link, be sure to order your book of The Key Connector. And then if you wanted a signed copy, just inbox me and we can purchase through Cash App if you like. And then I can mail you out a signed copy, all right, of the book, my book, The Key Connector. And you see it on the front, it says faith. You definitely have to have faith in this time. And so I'm grateful for the opportunity to write and publish that book. So it is out now. Also, next is my event that is coming up Saturday, March 26th. It is my Divine Connections 12th magazine anniversary. So excited. God has allowed me to have this platform and connect with people all over the world. And so for my Divine Connections 12th magazine anniversary, I am going to have vendors. I'm going to have speakers. I'm going to have gospel groups, and we're going to network and worship together. And that's going to be in Hall River, North Carolina. So I am just about full up for my vendors. I still have maybe 6 spots for sponsors. If you would like to be a sponsor of this awesome event, let me know and I will get you information about that. And to attend the event, we're also doing a big thing with celebrating women, because we're doing phenomenal things out there. If you would like to attend the event, it's only $45. Get your ticket and you will be celebrated as well as recognized in Divine Connections, the magazine. And then if you are a sponsor, if you are a vendor, if you're an attendee, you will all be recognized in the magazine as well. All right, so go ahead and get your tickets. And that's divineconnectionsmagazine.com/events. And last but not least, I have been honored to be nominated at the Rhythm of Gospel Awards.com. And that is the rhythmofgospelawards.com/online-voting. All right. And so there are 62 categories. So you have to take the time, maybe about 10 minutes, to go through that. Click on someone in each category. But when you get down to number 57 and 62, click on Deloris Williams and Divine Connections. All right. So I would love to have your vote with that. 57 is Gospel Internet Promotions and Marketing Group of the Year. And number 62 is Print Press Media Group of the Year. All right. And the website is therhythmofgospelawards.com and /online-voting. So if you go to that website, you will see that. And I greatly appreciate your vote in advance. Okay. And it's till March 5th and it's unlimited. So continue to vote until then. Thank you so much. All right. And that is our Divine Connection news. And I am so excited. We all are trying to do better. I know you see my post, try to eat healthier and doing things like that. So I have the doctor in the house. So I'm going to invite her right on in. Great day. How are you?
I'm doing great. It's great to be here. I appreciate the invitation to be here with you.
Oh, absolutely. Thank you for taking the time to come on with us. And I definitely love what you do because we're all trying to get better and healthier. Um,
Absolutely.
and so just go ahead and introduce yourself and tell everybody where you're from.
Sure. So my name is Dr. Aminah Keats, and I'm a board certified naturopathic doctor. I have a general medicine telehealth practice. I specialize in integrative cancer care as well.
Mm,
And I have a telehealth practice here in Montgomery County, Maryland. And so I have the opportunity to work with patients all over the country.
awesome. 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 I love that. So, I'm ready to get into some health tips, some natural things to do. Where do we want to start?
Yeah, I mean, there's so much, and I have so much enthusiasm around wellness and doing whatever we can to maintain our strength and to become stronger. So, um, we can start with food. We can start with just kind of general prevention of chronic diseases. I mean, there's so much to talk about.
All right. So let's start with food.
Okay. Yeah, so food, that's well, first of all, what I always tell patients is that there's always an opportunity to use food as medicine and that there's not one kind of perfect diet for everyone, right? And so some people, Mediterranean diet may be more suitable. For some people, a ketogenic diet might be more suitable. It just depends on the individual. But in general, we definitely everyone knows that we should maintain a clean diet, and we
Hmm.
really want to make sure that we're having a lot of fruits and vegetables. So that plant-based kind of large percentage is pretty consistent for everyone. I mean, most of us should be having, at least 60 to 70% plant-based diet, and the rainbow kind of array of fruits and vegetables and spices is going to be important too. So you definitely don't want to stick to kind of the same thing day in and day out. You want to mix it up so that you get a nice kind of variety of all the important antioxidants, vitamins, minerals, and phytonutrients.
So let's get some specifics on plant-based foods.
Yeah, yeah.
What are some of them?
Yeah, so that's going to be, number one, that's going to be your fruits and your vegetables, right? And then that's also going to be things like your grains. So things like brown rice and quinoa and oatmeal. That's also going to be things like nuts and seeds, excluding peanuts because they're not too healthy compared to the other nuts. But
Okay.
that is pretty much what it entails. And of course, our herbs and spices. So things like turmeric and ginger and
Yeah.
rosemary and things like that.
Awesome. Awesome. I love ginger.
Yeah, me too. Me too. That's one of my favorites for sure.
Awesome. Do you have like a special, like I know with ginger, you can make ginger tea, you can put it in smoothies, any like
Yeah.
things that you use ginger with?
Ginger is such a wonderful herb, definitely anti-inflammatory, important for gastrointestinal kind of support.
Hmm.
Now, and the other great thing about ginger is that there's so many wonderful ways to use it. So my favorite way is to actually use the root to prepare fresh tea. I probably do this about 2 or 3 times a week. And
Hmm.
that's a really wonderful thing to do, especially during the winter months. But
Yeah.
you can also put ginger in a smoothie, like you said. You can juice it. You can add it to, your fresh juices.
Hmm.
You can also add it to foods. So if you're preparing certain meals, you can
Yeah.
certainly use it as a culinary spice as well. You can
Hmm.
do ginger beer, which is a strong and authentic version of kind of like a ginger ale. There's actually certain ginger beers out there that don't contain sugar. They have a stevia replacement, so you don't have to worry about that impact on blood sugar. So
Hmm.
yeah, so a lot of different ways. Some people even like to do the ginger candies like ginger chews, especially those people
Yeah.
who are suffering from like nausea or maybe just need kind of something spicy during the day. So a lot of different options there.
Awesome. 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 Okay. So now let's get into diseases or things that's going on in your body that you can help with natural remedies.
Yeah, so natural medicine plays a really important role when it comes to prevention.
Hmm.
And when we think about diseases and prevention, we mainly think about chronic conditions. So, diabetes, Alzheimer's, cardiovascular disease, breast cancer, colon cancer, prostate cancer, and so these are the kinds of things that we think about. And the way that we approach prevention of chronic diseases is it's not necessarily specific to each of those conditions. The pathway or the plan is actually very similar.
Yeah.
And so you definitely want to make sure that nutrition is up to par. That's going going to apply in pretty much any kind of health related category. So diet is going to be very important. The other kind of pillar that's going to be important is sleep hygiene. So sleep is something that we often neglect. I think even during the pandemic, I think a lot of times most of us are going to bed later than we usually do. And sleep is really important for so many different functions: immune support, detoxification, mood balance, brain health, cognitive function. I mean, the list goes on and on, hormonal kind of regulation. And so making sure that we're getting to sleep between 10 and 11 o'clock is ideal. We want to make sure that we're sleeping in a dark, quiet room. And it is ideal to be sleeping for 7 to 8 hours pretty consistently each night, right? So that's a separate prescription. So you have nutrition, you have sleep, stress management is very important. And so when stress is, of course, we can't avoid stress, right? But we can kind of alter the way that we respond to stress.
Right.
And so when stress levels are unchecked and just kind of crazy, and especially when they're chronic, lasting long periods of time, that can wreak havoc in our bodies physiologically. So it can have an impact on hormones like insulin and cortisol, and could cause high blood pressure, can cause weight gain. I mean, the list goes on and on, right? So making sure that we have a stress management kind of plan in place that is suitable for us, because everyone is different. So some people may say, when I exercise, that helps to reduce my stress level. Some people say, when I watch a comedy, that's what does it for me. Meditation, yoga. So it really is individualized, but making sure that we have that specific kind of plan in place, right? The other thing is going to be movement. So maintaining a regular kind of exercise regimen is going to be key too. And that is individualized too. So that could be jogging, walking, biking. That could be doing an exercise routine in your home. That could be weightlifting. So making sure that we're doing that as well. The other thing that I would say would be socializing. So of course, during the pandemic, socializing is different, right? So it could mean if you're not able to do kind of direct kind of socializing, phone calls, Zoom kind of meetings, that kind of thing is going to be important, because socializing has actually been linked to longevity. So I would say those are the most important pillars when it comes to disease prevention and just kind of overall wellness.
Is there anything specific for those who may have COVID-19 or going through that right now?
Yeah. So, the key kinds of things that I think about for immune support, especially as it relates to COVID, people, we hear about vitamin D all the time. So, doing things like vitamin D, doing things like vitamin C, the nutrition piece is going to be important, staying well hydrated, doing anti-inflammatory things like ginger tea, like we talked about, would be indicated. Even turmeric tea, which is another strong anti-inflammatory herb. And, just really focusing on those kinds of things. And, when it comes to COVID, it really depends on the whole picture. Those are just kind of some general recommendations, but there may be other things that may be aggravating the situation. So someone may have a diabetic condition or a cardiovascular condition. So addressing those things may help as well.
Awesome. And what was the other category that you were talking about? Food disease, and what was the other one?
I think that I said nutrition and disease prevention.
Okay.
I can't remember if I said something else or not.
Okay.
But yeah, but in my practice, I like I said at the top of the interview, I do general medicine, of course, but I also focus a lot on integrative cancer care. So I also work with patients who are actively receiving chemotherapy and radiation. So working to reduce side effects, cancer prevention. I do a lot around that. In fact, January is Cervical Cancer Awareness Month, so definitely focusing a lot on that in terms of education around that specific topic. So that's that there.
Yeah, we have some tips on preventative.
Yeah. So when it comes to cancer prevention, it's really those similar kinds of guidelines, that I mentioned. However, when we think about, let's say, hormonal cancers like breast cancer or even ovarian cancer, prostate cancer, there's a hormonal kind of situation there as well. I think about the cruciferous family of vegetables, especially because that family of vegetables contains certain chemicals like sulforaphane and indole-3-carbinol that can actually support healthy kind of hormonal metabolism and elimination. So that cruciferous family is probably the most studied family when it comes to cancer prevention and cancer fighting support. So
Mhm.
that's definitely something to stress. Another kind
So
of
what's in that family?
oh, good question. I left that out. Yeah. So that's going to be things like broccoli, cabbage, Brussels sprouts,
Mhm.
radishes, collards, kale,
Mhm.
cauliflower, Brussels sprouts. I don't know if I said those already. Broccoli rabe is in that family. So there's definitely a lot there. And so, oh, you know what? Broccoli sprouts is a big one too.
Okay.
Broccoli sprouts. Yeah. So those are the main members of that family, but that's definitely an important family when it comes to cancer prevention. Another important family would be our berries. So
Mhm.
especially blueberries, blueberries are considered to be a superfood, but also things like organic strawberries, just because they tend to be high in pesticides, or so strawberries should be purchased organic, but also things like blackberries and raspberries. So berries are great because they're low in sugar, so they don't spike your blood sugar like things like
Mhm.
tropical fruits like mangoes, pineapples, bananas, but they're
Mhm.
also anti-inflammatory and they have some cancer inhibiting effects as well. I would say the other kinds of family would be the allium family, which would be things like garlic and onions, especially.
Mhm.
Those are going to be very important for cancer kind of inhibiting support too, especially fresh garlic.
Love it.
Yeah.
Awesome, awesome. Are there certain places that you can order, I guess maybe different meats like fish and things like that that's better to eat that you
Yes. So,
resources?
yeah. So when it comes to lean protein, well, when it comes to animal-based proteins, when it comes to seafood, especially, should be wild caught always, as
Mhm.
opposed to farm raised. And when it comes to seafood, also, those omega-3 rich kinds of fish are going to be or should be prioritized, just because omega-3s are a healthy fat that tends to be anti-inflammatory. So that's going to be things like salmon and
Mm.
mackerel and herring and sardines, anchovies as well. And so that's there. The seafood should definitely be wild caught all the time. In terms of places to get seafood, for me, I usually rely on Whole Foods, just because it's close and they tend to have wild caught. But I would say, regardless of the location, you just want to make sure that it has that stamp on it. When it
Mhm.
comes to things like poultry, you definitely want to make sure that that's organic as well. You
Mhm.
don't, want any kind of exogenous hormones or kind of antibiotic kinds of residue there. And
Yeah.
then when it comes to red meat, some people will say, don't do red meat at all. But my thing is, I think that depending on the patient, I think that red meat is okay in moderation. So, for example, maybe 1 to 2 times per month. And you definitely want to make sure that it is clean if you're eating it. And so that means organic, grass fed for
Mm.
sure. So
Uh,
those would be the main things to look for. And of course, when it comes to eggs, they should be organic as well.
Awesome, awesome. That's good information. I want to make sure I touch bases again with what it is that you do. So, those that are interested in what you do, can you go back over that a little bit?
Yeah. So I am a naturopathic doctor, and a lot of times people don't know exactly what that means. So there are about 5 or 6 accredited naturopathic medical schools in the country, and it's a postgraduate program. We study the basic sciences, but where we differ from your conventional doctors is that we focus in our last 2 years on things like herbal medicine, homeopathy, hydrotherapy, Chinese medicine, etc. We sit for 2 board exams. Some of us go to do residencies like I did. And then from there, when we go into private practice, it's all about whole person care. So we're
Mhm.
doing things like vitals, just like your medical doctor would. We're doing things like ordering imaging studies in most states. We're doing things like ordering a blood work or labs, in most states. But in terms of our treatment plans, that's where they differ. So we do
Yeah.
not prescribe medication. So it's all around holistic care, treating the cause. And so that's going to be around things like nutrition or clinical nutrition kind of recommendations. That's really the foundation of my practice.
Mhm.
Like I mentioned earlier, there's always an opportunity to use food as medicine.
Yeah.
Also, there's a lot of nutraceuticals that are used. So that can be things like vitamins, minerals, antioxidants, herbal supplements, anti-inflammatory kind of supplements,
Mhm.
and definitely focusing more so on evidence-based kind of medicine. So recommending supplements that where there's evidence to show this is effective for this particular kind of condition. Other things that we do would be things like counseling for sure. There's always a piece, in terms of the stress management kind of parts of the patient in terms of what they're willing to share with us.
Mhm.
There's also a physical medicine kind of component for some naturopathic doctors. Some naturopathic doctors will also perform acupuncture on patients. So
Mhm.
that's pretty much the general approach. So, for example, when I say that we really emphasize treating the cause of a condition, a simple example would be if someone presents with a cold, we're not going to go straight to prescribing or recommending something for a cough or something for a runny nose. It's more about let's support the immune system so that it's strong enough to alleviate that cold. Now, in addition to immune support, we're also going to be doing things to help to improve quality of life. So we may also do things to help to, relieve a sore throat or relieve a cough, but really focusing on what is happening to actually cause this to happen.
So finding the root of the problem, not just dealing with the symptoms of the problem.
That's right. That's right. So really treating the root of the problem. Exactly. So I would say that that's one of the things that causes naturopathic medicine to stand out. The other thing I would say would be prevention.
Mhm.
So in the conventional world, there's not so much. You don't see many recommendations or treatment protocols when it comes to prevention. And that's another beauty of naturopathic medicine. There's always protocols or things that we can do to reduce our risk of a number of different diseases, whether it's
Yeah.
diabetes or a particular kind of cancer type.
Mhm. Awesome, awesome, awesome. So, the type of clients that you're looking for are.
Yeah. So, I treat adult patients. I treat adult patients and I see, patients present with a lot of different kind of conditions. So I may see patients in terms of the women's health kind of category. I work with patients with endometriosis, uterine fibroids. I also work with patients with gastrointestinal kind of conditions, especially inflammatory GI kind of conditions like ulcerative colitis or Crohn's disease. I also work with patients who have irritable bowel syndrome, work with patients, especially now during the pandemic, who have trouble with stress, anxiety, depression, sleep disturbance. And
Mhm.
as I mentioned, I do specialize, I'm board certified in naturopathic oncology. So I would say the bulk of my practice is around integrative cancer care. So I do work with patients who have a current diagnosis of cancer, history of cancer, or even a family history of cancer, that patients in terms of working on prevention or reducing the risk. And yeah, and that's that in terms of my focus. So I see a lot of variety for sure. Now, in terms of the cancer types, I do see solid tumors, meaning things like breast tumor, colon cancer, pancreatic cancer. But I also work with patients with hematological kind of cancers like multiple myeloma, leukemias, etc.
Awesome, awesome, awesome. So I'll put your contact information on there. So tell people how they can get connected with you.
Yeah, sure. So if you want to just kind of learn a little bit more about naturopathic medicine or naturopathic oncology, you can visit my website at drkeats.com. That's drkeats.com. If you are interested in learning more in terms of how naturopathic medicine can benefit your health specifically, I am scheduling free 15-minute phone consultations. So you can schedule that on my website, or you can call our office at 301-828-8966 to do that. You can follow me on Facebook at Dr. Aminah Keats. I actually do Facebook Lives every Wednesday night. Tonight, I'm going to be talking about cervical cancer. And then you can also follow me on IG at Dr. Aminah Keats.
Wonderful, wonderful. And leave us with some words of encouragement.
You
Or
know,
anything else you want to share before we do that?
I think that pretty much sums it up unless folks have specific questions.
Okay, okay.
Words of wisdom. So, two things come to mind. One is my favorite quote, one of my favorite quotes by Maya Angelou, where she basically says, people they may not remember what you do, but they'll remember how you made them feel.
That's right.
And I think that that's so important especially during this time, because obviously it's very difficult for everyone. And, just kind of being there for each other, supporting one another. I know, obviously my passion is all around supporting people when it comes to their mental and physical health. And so, we all have our own kind of unique avenues to achieve that in terms of supporting each other and, in terms of encouragement and just kind of being there for one another. So that's one thing that comes to mind. The other thing that comes to mind is that we have the power to maintain a healthy life. And so I think that traditionally the thought has been, I have a family history. Everyone in my family gets diagnosed with diabetes, or, everyone in my family, they have this particular chronic kind of condition, whether it has to do with kidney function or something different. But we actually have the power to control how healthy our lives are through just our general kind of day-to-day kind of activities. So those main pillars that I mentioned, so exercise, stress management, the social interaction, nutrition, sleep, all those things make such an important impact, especially in terms of how even our genes function. So I think that it's important for us to know that, if we put the work in, not to say that, nothing will happen to us in the future, but we can definitely, we have some control in the game. So, that self-care is really key. We don't have to wait for something to happen.
That's right. Absolutely. Prevention is key.
It really is.
Anything else you want to share?
I think that's it. I think that's kind of touched on the main points there.
Awesome. Well, thank you for coming on and sharing some insight. So you all out there, if you want to stay connected, if you want to talk to her, she can has the 15-minute consultation. You can do that as well and go to her website and check it out. And definitely go back and view this video and share, because she put out some great nuggets on how to help us continue to be healthy and build our immune system and make us better as the days go by. Okay. Awesome. So thank you for coming on. And go ahead.
I was going to say, thank you for the invitation. It's great to be here.
Oh, you are very welcome. All right, you guys, I am Deloris Williams with Divine Connections. Make sure you stay connected to the number one Divine Connector. And I also definitely want to thank my guest for coming on today and sharing her great information. So hold tight. We're going to take it over to our sponsors and we'll be right back.
Hey, we've got exciting news from Divine Connections Marketing Services. Now you can create your own custom video commercial for your business or organization. It's time for you to win. Your product or service is someone's solution. So get the attention of your potential customers now. Choose from a 30 or 60-second commercial today. Just email us at divineconnectionsmagazine@gmail.com and we can get started. Connect today and let's get started making your custom video commercial now.
I am determined to be rich.
The middle class is not for me.
I need news that cares about me.
And not news that's going to scare me or make me mad at another people group.
I need news without politics.
And I want news that will point me to the money.
This is the news where it happens.
The moments that change the world.
These are the stories we need.
The info that we care about.
We only give you news that puts money in your pocket.
And the news
that gives us an advantage.
This is the work that continues.
Who we are today.
And what we can become
tomorrow.
That's it.
This is where news without agendas can lead us.
Your wealth matters.
This is why more perspectives
make us stronger.
And how our mission can inspire
tomorrow.
This is journalism that helps the world we live in.
This
is
Mexit News.
Divine Connections Magazine. Get major exposure for your business. Is someone looking for your service? Do you need networking? Are you a gospel artist or a ministry? Do you have a major event that you want to promote? Divine Connections Magazine has the solution for you. We can distribute to residents, businesses, churches, and online. Don't miss this opportunity to expand your marketing locally and around the world. Find out more about us at divineconnectionsmagazine.com. Get your spot in the next issue issue of Divine Connections Magazine by emailing us for details at divineconnectionsmagazine@gmail.com.
Make sure to like us on Facebook at Divine Connections Marketing. Follow us on Instagram at Divine Connections.
Let's get it started.